Welcome to this new video. Today we are talking about the Aurelian walls in Rome, that massive structure built by Emperor Aurelian in 271 AD all around the city and the reasons why they were actually built. But before we start, if you're new here, let me quickly introduce myself. My name is Sofia, I am an architecture student in Rome and I've always loved video games. And on this channel I basically combine those two passions and overanalyze virtual buildings for fun. So if you enjoy this kind of content, don't forget to like and subscribe, I really appreciate it. So let's get started. Most people will tell you that the Aurelian walls were built to protect the city from barbarian invasions, but that's only part of the story. The truth is that they were probably built for much more than that. They completely changed the way Rome worked, the way it was controlled, and even its economy. And these were not even the first walls of Rome. Centuries earlier, the city was already protected by the Servian walls, built during the Republican period and traditionally linked to King Servio Tullio. Construction of the Aurelian walls only began in 271 AD, and the first reason may have had nothing to do with enemies outside the city. It may have been about controlling the people inside it. In the same year, in 271 AD, after fighting Germanic tribes that had invaded Italy, Aurelian returned to Rome and faced serious riots inside the city. The revolt became so violent that ancient sources even claim that around 7,000 soldiers died while restoring order. And after that, of course, it's pretty easy to understand why Aurelian wanted more control over his capital. The walls didn't just keep enemies out, they also created a clearly defined city that could be watched, patrolled and controlled. For example, before the walls, soldiers had to make their way through Rome's narrow streets to reach areas where riots had broken out, while people could attack them from the rooftops by throwing roof tiles and other objects. But with the new walls, soldiers could move safely along the protected walkways built inside the fortifications and quickly reach any point of the city's perimeter. Every gate became a checkpoint, and the gates themselves were turned into small fortresses with additional inner gateways. Whoever controlled the gates controlled the walls, and whoever controlled the walls controlled the entire city. Every entrance could be monitored, and every citizen lived inside a visible border protected by soldiers loyal to the emperor. In a way, we could even say that the walls became a symbol of imperial authority as much as a military defense. But there is another interesting possibility. Building such an enormous project may also have been a way to create jobs and keep thousands of people busy. The walls stretched for almost 19 kilometers and took about 10 years to complete. And that means that tens of thousands of craftsmen, engineers and suppliers may have been involved over many years. And keeping so many people employed could have reduced unrest while also encouraging loyalty toward the emperor. So instead of seeing the walls as a threat, many citizens may have seen them as an opportunity. And then there is another reason that is often overlooked: money. Building the walls was certainly expensive, but they may also have become one of the city's smartest financial investments. Before the walls, Rome's custom boundary was marked only by stone markers scattered around the city. People could easily avoid official checkpoints and enter without paying taxes on goods. But once the walls were built, that changed completely. Every merchant had to pass through guarded gates, and tax evasion became much harder. Over time, the income generated by customs duties may have paid back a significant part of the construction costs. So the walls weren't just protecting Rome, they were also protecting its economy. And finally, yes, there was the military reason. During Aurelian's reign, the Roman Empire was under pressure from barbarian invasions, so Rome could no longer rely on being untouchable, and the city needed modern defenses. What I find most interesting is that the original walls were only about 7 to 8 meters high, much lower than what we see today. Their full defensive potential wasn't reached until the early 5th century, when Emperor Honorius raised them to face far more dangerous threats. So in the end, were the Aurelian walls built to stop barbarian invasions? Yes, but they were also a tool for political control, economic growth, administrative reform, and social organization. And maybe that's what makes them one of the most fascinating monuments of ancient Rome. And with that said, I hope you enjoyed the video, and if you're interested in more architecture through video games content, remember to support me by subscribing. I really appreciate it, and I will see you in the next video. Bye!